Evening, folks. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. This is the Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Interesting story tonight that I thought I would bring to you. It seems like the fallout from the Red River tragedy, Red River shooting, continues to play out as it may. In this story, let's see if we can't get that screen brought up. In this story, we see that the Red River residents are pretty upset at the Taos sheriff in the wake of the shooting. We kind of have two stories here. And this one is Red River Marshall County Sheriff's Office clash over motorcycle rally security. So this story seems quite interesting. We'll jump right into it. Red River Marshall County Sheriff's Office clashes over the rally security. So here we have a picture of Red River Marshal James Johnson on the left, and he addresses the public during a heated exchange with the Taos County Undersheriff Jerry Hography. During a special council meeting, I think this is the first meeting that they had, the first live meeting since everything was going on. A contentious exchange between members of the Red River Marshal's Office and Taos County Undersheriff Jerry Hography may foreshadow a local investigation into some of the circumstances leading up to last Saturday's deadly shooting during the 41st annual River Memorial Day motorcycle rally. So it seems like they're a little bit angry with one another over things going on. As we check it out, the exchange occurred during an emotional special meeting of the town of Red River Council on Wednesday afternoon, which was last night, during which residents of the small resort town roundly praised the response of the emergency medical services. So the medical guys got in there and did their thing like they were supposed to, as well as local state law enforcement. They were happy with them. But they criticized the absence of the Taos County Sheriff's deputies at the time the gunfire erupted between the members of the Banditos Motorcycle Club and the Water Dogs Motorcycle Club. And, you know, I think they're kind of angry for good reason, pretty upset about it all. After Hography made an apology for a post-shooting, what he called lack of communication, the town marshal jumped in. He was pretty upset. He descended from the stage where he and other officials had been listening to comments from about 300 people gathered inside the Red River Conference Center. That's not a big place at all. So if it's not a big city, if 300 people gathered, holy moly, it must have been like, you know, a lot of the town. Johnson blamed the Taos County Sheriff's Office for unilaterally establishing roadblocks on either side of the town. You guys remember when we kept hearing the whole town was cut off? They were mad at them for that. And this prevented access to, among other things, a rideshare driver who was returning to ferry more people away from the scene, as well as local residents and visitors who were separated from their vehicles beyond the checkpoints. Hography explained that, unlike previous years, Red River declined to enter into a paid agreement or arrangement for the presence of sheriff's deputies throughout this year's Memorial Day weekend. So, ouch, they didn't pay for it. The sheriffs weren't there because they didn't pay for them. They failed to enter into a financial agreement for the Memorial Day weekend like they had done in previous years. Red River declined this. So the undersheriff worked in public safety in Red River for 22 years, including a stint as the head of the town's police department, and also is a resident. He said, "I thought that was a slap in my face for to pay for deputies. This is what Johnson said. I thought that was a slap in my face to pay for deputies. As a result of the town's refusal to pay overtime for added personnel from Taos County Sheriff's Office, deputies weren't in the town 24/7 that day. They were around, but they weren't specifically assigned to the town. And I can imagine that probably, ticked a lot of people off. But, man, you got to pay for security if you want security, don't you? But no, he thought it was a slap in his face. And so some of us were in town. Some of us were patrolling New Mexico 38 and patrolling in Cuesta. Hography told the Taos News Wednesday morning. He later explained to the audience that at the public meeting that I was at my house when I got the call about the deadly shootout. Also at the meeting, however, he told the crowd that some of you up here may have heard me say this about 20 years ago. I said this about 20 years ago, and some of you might have heard me say when I was still working on this rally 20 years ago that this motorcycle rally is like sitting on an open powder keg with a lit cigarette. One resident took Hography and the sheriff's office to task over the comment. The undersheriff just said that this was a powder keg and it was waiting to explode. And the only time they were present on the scene was after the incident took place? This was what Matt Dietz said. He's the president of the Red River Business Alliance, who took to the microphone to ask several searing questions of Sheriff Hography. Did you say I'm going to sit on my patch and watch the town burn? I'm just going to sit right here on my porch and watch the town burn. It's a powder keg waiting to explode, and y'all won't give me any money, so burn, baby, burn! No, I'm just teasing, because that really pissed Under Sheriff Hography off, and he said to the man in the crowd, because that man was repeating a rumor that had been flying around Red River in the days since the shooting. So he yelled back. He said, I did not say that. I did not say I'm just going to sit on my porch and let it burn. I did not say burn, baby, burn. None of that. This is my home. I've lived here since 1984. Dang, that's a long time. That's like, is that 50 years? That's a long time. I've lived here since 1984, he said, and I would never say that. And whoever is accusing me of saying something like that is a liar. And that was a little tough on them. They weren't. I wish I could get that video. They weren't happy with each other, it seems. As Mayor Calhoun asked Hography and others to cool off, Steve Dyer, an officer with the marshal's office, approached, stating loudly that the only liar sitting here is you. Boy, they were just throwing him. I'm surprised they wasn't throwing blows in there. The only liar sitting here is you. And claimed that Hography did threaten to sit on his porch during the Memorial Day event and watch the town burn. He said that the man actually said that. That's a rumor going around, which he denied. But somebody said, the only liar sitting here is you. You actually said that. Dreyer later confirmed to the Taos News that he personally heard Hography make that comment as the undersheriff stood next to Dyer's patrol vehicle approximately a month ago. You got to be careful of the loose talk. One of my dear club brothers often says, I don't hold the loose talk. I don't hold to it. And you got to be careful about spreading loose talk, listening to loose talk, and most especially speaking loose talk, because it can come back and bite you. It can just bite you. He might have said, I'd just sit there and watch that town burn. And if he did say that, ouch, here it is, back to bite him. If he didn't say it, times like this, rumors be a rampant. It just be a rampant, just going on, these rumors. But it is what happens out there, and you have to be careful about it. The exchange spurred one resident, who declined to give his name, And this resident said he declined to give his name to Taos News, but he publicly asked town officials to investigate the sheriff's actions during the rally. This is getting ready to be real Uvalde like. You know what I'm saying? He wants the sheriff investigated for his actions, as well as he wants the sheriff's preparations that had been made for the influx of outlaw motorcyclists. He wants that investigated too. He doesn't think anybody did anything right. Calhoun confirmed to the Taos News that there will likely be an investigation of some sort. Police scanner activity painted a chaotic scene in the Enchanted Circle on Saturday. The Enchanted Circle is this big, huge, round, I don't know how many miles it is, but that's what they call it, the Enchanted Circle. And he said, the police scanner, and if you remember when we did this live, I was listening to the scanner for you guys and stuff. The scanner was busy with it. Police scanner activity painted the scene as chaotic. It did in the Enchanted Circle. Following the deadly shootout between rival motorcycle gangs, and residents on Wednesday took to the podium to share their stories. It's not just our store, our home, our shop. Bullets ripped through our walls, said Heather Larson, who owns the Star Trading Post, and that's right out front where it happened, in front of which the deadly shooting took place. One bullet lodged in a shelf where people had been looking not 10 minutes earlier, she said, as her husband, Chris, held up the photos. Our friends could have been killed. It could have been prevented. And, when you're the police guy in charge of stuff, they're always mad at you. Like, it could have been prevented. Like, I didn't know these idiots were going to come to town shooting people and stuff. But, hey, you're the guy in charge, so you could have prevented it. A massive response on the part of local and extra county emergency services was initiated, and victims were taken to Holy Cross Medical Center in Taos. The New Mexico Department of Homeland Security was called. Wow, I thought they just called them for terrorists. But they called the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security to aid with the resource request, according to the department spokesman. The hospital asked for extra blood. Like only 2 or 3 people were shot. Like, did you guys not have any blood? And we helped coordinate on transport of patients, said David Lineman, public information officer for the state Homeland Security. I take that back. I think like 5 people or 8 people were shot. I take that back. There was a lot of people shot. Maybe they needed blood. On the criminal side, the Fusion Center, which coordinates intelligence sharing for law enforcement, was involved in sharing information up to the FBI and the Department of Justice and back down. Argofy disputed that the Fusion Center shared any intelligence until it was too late, sentiment Johnson echoed. On Friday, I got a call. Hey, you got banditos coming. I was like, no shit, Johnson said. This was a planned, coordinated attack, they keep saying. And this is what Calhoun said Wednesday, asserting that Red River had a plan in place to deal with a violent incident, but failed to plan adequately for the aftermath, saying that you guys knew they were coming, you knew they had a planned attack, and you did nothing. We had officers on the scene within 30 seconds, she said. We weren't prepared for the fallout after the event. Our communication was not what it should have been. This is what the mayor said. She also emphasized repeatedly during Wednesday's meeting that the town has made grief and trauma counseling available for anyone who wants it. And I can imagine if you've never had bullets flying into your place, you may want some counseling and trauma, and it's okay. That's good. It's okay to cry, feel bad, and get some counseling. You might have PTSD or anything from this. But amid the chaos, Taos County Fire Chief Michael Cordova said contingency plans between several counties, municipalities, and volunteer EMS kicked in to prevent significant lapses in EMS coverage within the Enchanted Circle. It's kind of like a move up and cover that they did, he said. And also that, let's see here. Did I lose my place? Oh, it's kind of like we have to move to cover outside areas where resources may be stretched in a single or, in this case, multiple locales. Like they did all kinds of stuff. Like they They stopped people from even having anything to drink in some of the other cities because they didn't have enough police or stuff to respond to an emergency. He said we had a good response, and it wired as it should, and it wired as it should. No complaint. There must be, and it worked as it should. No complaints on our people handling it. I am very proud of everyone. They did a phenomenal job, Cordova said. And Alice Robinson here, who commented on the story, said, after a mass shooting, it is always a human trigger to blame someone. We are a rural county with limited resources. Of course, other first responders are going to come and help from all over. I did not blame any one person here. It is a good lesson on what needs to be strengthened and needs to be changed so it never happens again. On that note, Red River needs to get rid of that mayor, ban that rally, and think about keeping all of us from Castile to Taos to Pillar to Penasco out of harm's way. The boys can infight all they want, but let's think about the community first. We can do this. It's time for change. Alice Robinson. That's so nice. Alice is sweet. She wasn't blaming anyone, although she did say let's get rid of that damn mayor. And I feel bad for the mayor because she's admitting she's doing what a lot of mayors and stuff won't do. She's admitting the shortcomings. And I think a person that can admit the shortcomings is a special person. A person that can say, yeah, we messed it up a little. But in the totality of things, nobody outside of the clubs was hurt or injured or killed. The police got there within seconds. They shut everything down. I think it was a win. But not everybody does. They think that. Here's another story about the same thing, told a little differently from a different reporter. Red River residents vent at Taos Sheriff in the wake of the shooting. In this one, Red River residents still reeling from a shootout between motorcycle gangs during the Red River motorcycle rally last weekend took aim at the Taos County Sheriff and his agency during their first public meeting since the shooting. So they took aim. Locals vented frustration at Sheriff Steve Miera and Undersheriff Jerry Hography for refusing to send deputies to Red River prior to the shooting to create a stronger law enforcement presence of the town during the rally, and for the decision to lock down Red River for hours after the shooting, which stranded some guests and permanent residents in their homes or their children. Red River Marshal James Johnson, while responding to questions from a local resident during the meeting, said the sheriff's office asked the town to pay for any deputies to patrol Red River during the rally, though deputies did respond after the shooting. And I can see why the town might be upset and not want to pay because, hell, eggs are $6 a carton. Maybe they didn't think anything was going to go on. Anyway, locals vented frustration at the sheriff, and they were upset. And Red River Marshal James Johnson, while responding to questions from a local resident during the meeting, said the sheriff's office asked the town to pay, and they didn't. So somebody got mad, jumped up and asked, and it was kind of ugly. This was ugly. I have to say this is ugly. Why the hell would we have to pay the sheriff's office to come down here and do their damn jobs? Jack Shaw said that. He was a resident at the meeting. Sometimes the residents at the meeting, man, you just be like, oh my God. Yeah, oh my God, this guy here. You be wanting to shut their microphones off. I mean, I could just imagine. I get it in my motorcycle club. Like I'm holding the motorcycle club meeting, and all of a sudden somebody jumps up. Why didn't you do your job? I'd be like, hey man, I'll take this president's patch off and hand it to your ass. You see how good you can do. But when you're doing it for a living, of course you can't do that. So, ouch, that hurt. I know that hurt his feelings. At one point during the meeting, it appeared Hography got into a heated discussion with a Red River resident until other deputies gathered around their boss and he left the microphone. It's not, man, it's good to have a team, because he was probably getting ready to get ugly in there. And his boy said, hey, man, somebody go get the sheriff. He needs his job tomorrow. And they ran over and got your boy and got him down off the podium or wherever it was he was speaking, which I think was smart. Good for him. Miera, who also attended the meeting, defended his decisions. He said the massive motorcycle rally, and 28,000 people, 28,000 bikers in a small town like that, that's massive. No one can say it's not. So he said the massive motorcycle rally, which draws an estimated 28,000 riders, affects the entire county when large groups of motorcyclists go on miles-long group rides through the mountains of northern New Mexico. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to be an amazing ride. I want to go on that ride. Maybe I can run into Chuck E. Cheese while I'm out there in New Mexico. Most of you guys don't know about him. But I want to get out there and ride out there. I want to go. Somebody invite me so I can come ride with y'all. And he says when you got the long group rides through the mountains, Miera said it's tough. He said that's why he couldn't send his limited resources into the small town of Red River, which has about 550 permanent residents. So there were 300 people at the damn meeting. That was almost the whole town, like I said. So, the sheriff is trying to be logical here. Now, listen, we got bikers riding this whole enchanted circle thing, which I believe consists of many little cities and stuff, from the little bit I've been able to glean. And you want me to send all my people to one little section, the major section, but you want me to send, but I've got to patrol all this and my resources are limited and you wouldn't pay for the overtime. So now you're mad. And I think he has a strong argument there. So he said he couldn't send his limited resources to the town. He said protocols law enforcement follows after the shooting called for Red River to be locked down for a period of time after the shooting. So we locked it down because that's our protocol. Even though we knew who everybody was, we had everybody contained, we had to lock the place down. He also said motorcycle club members were spotted following the ambulances that were carrying the people who had been shot to the hospitals after the shooting, which showed that there were ongoing threats. Like, bro, we had a lot going on. We're trying to fly helicopters. We don't have any emergency trauma centers. We got one. We're trying to fly people to Colorado Springs and fly people here and fly people there. I know because I watched it on that app, that airplane app. And you could see the helicopters actually coming in. And then you could hear the chaos on the scanner, the police scanner. So you could hear it all unfolding. It was crazy. And then I did hear on a scanner where they were talking about motorcycles were chasing or something, the ambulances. Even the shady riding in the ambulance thought that his ambulance was under attack. So, I mean, the Monday morning quarterbacking is kind of tough here. But he said motorcycle club members were spotted following the ambulances carrying the people who had been shot to the hospitals after the shooting, which showed there were ongoing threats. It wasn't a popular decision, he said, but it's one I had to make. Miera said of the decision to lock down the town. I was elected to keep you safe. Don't be calling me no liar and stuff. This part I'm adding. Don't be calling me no liar and stuff. I got elected to make the big boy decisions, and those were the decisions I made. So, those folks are pissed off. And let me tell you, they're mad. They don't want the biker rally back. That's tomorrow morning's story. You can imagine that some folks don't want it back. Like maybe everybody. It's like, you thought they wanted that money, huh? It's something when they tell you, I don't want your damn money. Take your money and shove it up your derriere. That's something. We don't expect that. Some places can't be bought. Like, we don't want you. We don't want. You can't buy our peace. None of that. We're upset. Somebody said, but they could have been following their brothers to the hospital, maybe. Absolutely, they probably were. But hey, the townspeople don't know that. The guy driving the ambulance certainly doesn't know that. He's he's he doesn't know MC protocol. Oh, yeah, what they do is they ride in mass behind us to follow their brother to the hospital. Well, the guy who had done the shooting or had been shot for 3 or 4 times or whatever the case may be, he didn't think they were coming to pay him any good attention. He thought maybe they were coming to take him out. So, somebody said, was it ever confirmed that the dominant here wasn't allowed there for a few years and it was their first time back? I don't think that there was a time. So what I heard someone say was the place shut down to bikers and this was their first year back? And I think the sheriff said, no, that was not the case. So it is, it's crazy. Nelson is attacking me. Stop with the logical reasoning, Black Dragon. There's no there's no logic. We're not going to let you logicize. We're not going to let you logicize this away. Come on. We want to always, look at the cup as half full, don't we? Even when it's half empty. He said, no. Thanks, Black Dragon. Thought VPS said this, but maybe I misheard. No. That's what they said initially. That's what VPS said initially, and this was what's going on. Is somebody talking to me? DM me your address. Thanks. I had a falling out with PayPal. Is somebody trying to send me some money? I damn sure will DM you my address. That ain't no issue. So yeah, I'm just trying to get to the rest of the comments here before I get out of here on y'all. Just seeing what you guys are talking about. My gosh, 30-second response time is actually pretty great time. I've called the police here at home and they didn't even show up. Yeah, 30 seconds is pretty. They got there. Listen, like the lady said, the wonderful lady said in her comment section, I think we're just all looking for somebody to blame, and you need that. You need someone to blame at a time like this. So anyway, listen, friends, this was this is ongoing, and you can see that the fallout continues to fall out. I don't think their presence would have made a difference, says Jack D. You mean the police? If they got there in 30 seconds, they had a pretty decent presence there for a small area. And can you imagine that many people died in basically 30 seconds? Jeez, that's very sad. That's like that's like one of those mass shootings where the guy walks into the nightclub and goes crazy. So we're going to see more of this. The fallout is going to be incredible, especially as people want to do this tomorrow or next month or next year. You're going to see, and yeah, I've got a story about some of the people who lost money at the event. We're going to be covering that tomorrow. We're going to be covering the mayor talking about not having the event anymore. Talk about what's going on with that tomorrow. We're going to talk about some other places that have shut down events. Wow. Yeah. And the blowback from that. So this is going to possibly have far-reaching consequences for the biker set, maybe nationwide. And the more that we do this in public, the more that you're going to see these draconian-like Australian rules start to be put in place, and all we can say is, yeah, we brought it on ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we did. Or they did. They brought it on us. And as you can see, they're going to call everybody an outlaw motorcycle gang. They're going to say gang, a gang, a gang, a gang, a gang. And they're going to mean that. And they're saying it over and over again in every meeting. This was a targeted hit. This was a gang attack, a targeted gang, a gang, a gang, a gang. Because that's how they feel about us. Every single one of you. They said, hey, tell you what, we're locking the whole town down. I wish you would go a mile an hour over the speed limit. Any biker trying to go home is getting ready to have hell. If we can't arrest you, we will arrest you. Well, wait a minute. I'm in a 99% club. They don't care. They don't know the difference, and they don't give a damn. We're all biker gangs. Hell, the water dogs claim that they're not even a motorcycle club. But they were listed as, this is between two biker gangs. Well, President Shady said, we ain't no biker gang. We ain't even no MC. It ain't even, no MC word ain't even on our patch. But here they are spread across the headlines as a biker gang. Somebody said, I think some of the clubs involved need to read your books. Do you know something? They do. They absolutely do. Just about someone in almost every club at this point has read my books. So anyway. Yo, Black Dragon, wait a minute. This is old. It happened yesterday. Is yesterday old? I mean, I'm not CNN in here, y'all. I'm JBII. John Bunch II. I'm just one person. Like, I don't have the CNN, like CNN is over there. They got a whole crew. I just have a background and stuff that looks like them. I ain't getting down like that. This is old. Bro. I'll try to, listen, I'm sorry. I'll try to get you some fresher news. Sorry, 200 character limit. Let's see. New Mexico officials are pleading with motorcycle clubs like the Banditos and Sons of Silence not to boycott an annual Memorial Day weekend rally in Red River, New Mexico. Where did you find that at? Was that last year? New Mexico officials are pleading with motorcycle clubs like the Banditos and Sons of Silence not to boycott an annual Memorial Day weekend in Red River. Was that like before the event? Because they ain't pleading like that no more. Let me type that in. See, New Mexico officials are pleading with motorcycle clubs. Wow. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that. Let's see. New Mexico officials plead with motorcycle clubs not to skip Red River Rally. Denver AP. New Mexico officials are pleading. Oh, my goodness. This is old. 2005. It was good, though. Yeah, I think this was. Is this 2005? Let's go here. Well, it looks like that tune has changed. New Mexico officials are pleading with motorcycle clubs like the Banditos and Sons of Silence not to boycott them. This was published 4/18/2005. Well, my friends, they won't be pleading like that no more. Motorcycle groups have called for a national boycott of the rally following the deaths of Pueblo residents Les Walker and Tim Series. They were struck by a 15-year-old boy who was driving a truck that allegedly crossed the biker lanes. Okay, so I guess this happened a while back, and they wanted everybody to come. They want you to come and spend your money and stuff until you show your ass. After you show your black ass, or whatever variant flavor of ass you have, then they don't want you coming no more. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. So he was saying, well, I was trying to confirm that the rally was canceled. last few years and found this. Looks like the rally did happen last year. Yeah, that's what they said. The rally did happen last year. It's almost as if random citizens don't enjoy lead being slung around their kids over stuff that has nothing to do with them. It's almost as if they don't. You would kind of think them and not enjoying that are real close, if not exactly the same. All clubs need to grow up and stop the tough guy act, because sooner or later, it's just riding a motorcycle is going to be a problem. Absolutely. So anyway, I enjoyed chatting with you all this night. And I'm going to turn in, since y'all had me up all night last night and the last few nights dealing with covering this. But Joe said we need to sit down. No, Joe, they need to sit down. They don't need a sit-down meeting. They need to sit their asses down and chill out. That's what they need to do. But if a sit-down would help, I wouldn't mind that either. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Make sure to join us on all of our channels if you could. We have I got to read all this. Don't forget to read my daily online news magazine, bikerliberty.com. You can support the channel, $, Biker Prez, or hit that super chat button. We could use the donations. We love that. You can recognize the truth when you hear it, because the truth has a ring of familiarity to it, my mother used to say. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button and the notification bells if you wouldn't mind doing me that favor. You can find Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. You can order my books, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Public Relations Officer's Bible, all available on Amazon, Kindle, or at blackdragonsgear.com, and you can get the President's Bible on Audible. Join our daily podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, LLAIR, that's The Dragon's Lair, anywhere you get your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and those sorts of places. We have a Discord box, a Discord channel. Please check out the description and get the link from the description box below. And you can reach me at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, or if you ever need to call me in the studio, it's 404-692-0336. Always hiding, never. Wait a minute. I didn't do that right. But anyway, I'm not hard to find. You can catch me anytime. All right, so that's it. You guys have a great evening. Hit that like button, share button on your way out. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there. Treat everybody like solid pieces of irreplaceable, precious gold. And get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospects Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.